Hickok 45 here, and you're looking for the Smith & Wesson Model 60, aren't you? Well, let's see, that's not it. That's a 642. You've seen that before, haven't you? One of my favorite pistols. Here's John's Model 36. Good old gun, made in 1969. Well, I think a Model 60 is stainless, and I don't see that unless it's in this box, his old box. Ah, there it is, the Model 60. What's it doing in this plastic bag? Oh, that's the way it came. It's a new one. Oh, it's a new one, yeah, a new Model 60, cool. Never been fired. Nice, nice. Gosh, okay, well, the box looks a little bit old. Look at that, there's your old warranty card, 38 Chief Special, stainless revolver, Model 60. Man, that goes back, look at that. That's an old yeah, piece of information, isn't it? Yeah, buddy. Guess how old? 1970. 1970. That's how old this firearm is. This particular one was made 1970. Okay? But guess what else? It's new. Unfired. It still has the factory grease on it. It was in the factory bag. Alright? In the old box. So, and the tools that come with them. So this is a recent purchase. I've been kind of on the market for a Model 60. Didn't have to be like this. I looked at several, bid on a few. They were just decent, but ended up not getting them. Then this one came up, new in the box from 1970, and with the factory grease on it. It has not been fired, and had all kinds of pictures. So I believed it, and I bought it. Now, you might ask, what am I doing with this? Am I going to shoot it or something? It's kind of a collector's piece. I mean, a Model 60, it's not a Colt single action or anything. But to have one exactly 50 years old, new in the box, a lot of people would consider it, fairly collectible, right? Well, I just don't do that. I just don't do that. I have to shoot them. Yeah. And I thought, I had it out here a time or two, and I thought, well, I'll clean this thing up and shoot it. Well, I almost hate to do it. I'd like for y'all to see it, and before I do that, because, you don't see many like that. I mean, that's just the factory grease and everything. So I thought, you know what? I can't put on a shooting exhibition with one of these anyway or anything. I mean, figure out how to adjust the sights. Need to, sight it in before we do a video. Nah, these things just are what they are. They're up close and personal little firearms. And I thought, I'll just clean it up and shoot. Here's what I would do. And so since this is what I would do, I'm going to do it. I would just spray it down. Here it goes. So you got your last look at it. And John has documented this old gun. 1960, a Model 60, 1970. They came out, the Model 60 did, in 1965. Okay, I don't want to get oil all over my beautiful skin here in this area, but so this is not, it's a no dash, and it had only been around about 5 years, the Model 60. The Model 60 was the stainless version, basically, of the old Model 36, the J-frame. And it was the first mass-produced handgun revolver, okay? So these things were in such demand, a stainless, because this thing was just dearly loved, the J-frame, Chief Special, and we've got a video on that, link to it. And just, boy, these things were, they rocketed. They were so popular. They came out about 1950, I think. And then in 1965, they figured out how to make them, mass produce them in stainless steel. Because a lot of people carried these in their pockets. They were really popular, backup gun for police and just anybody, anybody. And so in stainless, perfect for a carry gun, right? So that's what you got here, a Model 60. And I didn't go looking for one that had never been fired, but that's sort of what I ended up with. All right? So a lot of you are dying right now. Oh no, you're going to fire that thing? Now this grease won't hurt, but I'm going to kind of clean and brush it a little bit, and I'm not going to spend 3 days doing it, but get that kind of down. Make sure it's lubed. I do this anyway. Generally, make sure the gun is lubed well before I fire it. Run a patch through it, and you know, so this will be fine. But make sure it's not rust. Some of that looked like rust almost, that grease, doesn't it? You're like, oh no. Not that stainless steel really rusts like regular steel, carbon steel, but it can. So I clean it really well after we fire it a couple of times. But I think so much of you all that I wanted you to be here with me when I fired it the first time. When this firearm was fired, its first shots, okay? And you know, it's been around, neglected for 50 years. It has not served its primary purpose in life for 50 years. I mean, look at that. That is, look at that recoil shield. You can tell it's not been fired. It's not a joke, is it? This thing is new. It is new. You know, get the grease off, and we'll remedy that situation. I mean, I feel sorry for it. It should have been fired. Yeah. Hopefully, all that will come off, and there's not a secret pile of rust or something there. Yeah, that's all going to come off. Okay. Get it pretty, and then get it dirty. So there's not a lot. I mean, mostly we're kind of familiar with the Model 60. Some are not. These little J-frame revolvers. They're so widely popular. The Chief Special, and they later named them gave them the Model 36 designation. I don't know. Like a lot of Smith & Wessons, they came out with a name, but then they started to model numbers in the late 50s, early 60s or something. I think maybe depending on the gun. But so this is the J-frame Model 36 in stainless, and it's called the Model 60. So we'll run a couple of patches through there. Now the Model 60 is still being made. This is a gun that's just been made forever, and I think in 96 maybe. They made it, expanded the cylinder and made it a little bit bigger so that it would chamber a 357. They may have improved the steel, you know, whatever they needed to do. But look at that grid, it's not being cleaned. And so now you can get them in 357 Magnum. And you see those in the gun shops, you know, all the time. They're a little bit beefier. They have a little bit longer barrel. This one has under 2 inches. And then I think when they started making them in 357 Magnum, they increased the barrel length just a little bit, 2 inches, point something maybe. And then there's a 3-inch model, there's a 4 or 5-inch model, and a performance center models and everything. The thing they all have in common is that they're the J-frame. You know, I guess that's the smallest frame in it, Smith & Wesson. And they hold 5 shots. You know, when you move on up into a K-frame, you get 6 shots. And you know, Smith has all these different sizes, the L and the X and everything. But for a long time, it was just the J-frame, the K-frame, and your N frames. All right, we're getting there. I just want to make sure it's clean before I shoot it. It's you know, normally I would lovingly work with it and clean it, let it soak, you know, and soak in the ballast all a while, and get all that grease off, make it beautiful. And but it'll be fine. Come out of cleaning rod down here. There it is. And okay, hope I can get that pushed on through. I think I might need to cut these. And I am going to shoot it. Hang on, let me cut one of these cleaning patches a little bit so I can push it all the way through easily. Okay, I want to get all the way through that chamber. Okay. Don't want any grease in there. I guess it wouldn't, for not much, it wouldn't hurt too much. But yeah, Model 60, it is definitely a classic. Many of you already know that, right? And been around. So many people have carried these things. I talked about in the first video with the 36. A friend of mine's dad used to carry one of these in his back pocket everywhere he went around the rural county he lived in. Illegally, probably, of course. I don't know, maybe not. He actually had a permit from the sheriff, you know, I know at some points. So, but they're just handy. And 38 Special is nothing to sneeze at. It's a round. It's not. It's similar to 9mm. You just have 5. That's the biggest criticism. You have 5 shots. But if you like revolvers, and that's your thing, they tend to be pretty reliable, don't they? You can count on them pretty much. especially the first 5 shots. They just generally kind of not hang up on you as long as they're clean. You know, you're taking care of it. That's what kind of the way I think about a revolver. If you have a problem with a revolver, it can be really serious. It can be way worse than a semi-automatic firearm. You're aware of that. You get some dirt under that star extractor at the wrong time or some kind of issue, it can be really bad, and you cannot fix it, you know, on the fly. But whereas a jam up with an automatic, you know, you usually get it clear. It might take you a few seconds or something, but you're back in action. But in my experience and my perception is a revolver, the first 5 or 6 shots, yeah, they're probably going to work. Unless there's something wrong with your ammo. As long as your gun's working, when you pull that thing out, it's probably going to do what it's supposed to do. Okay. Wow, that thing is really dirtier than I realized. A lot of grease. Okay. So we'll get her in shooting shape here. I will run a dry patch in those chambers real quick, and we're going to load this thing up. And we're just going to get it dirty anyway, so don't worry too much. So I just want to get the crud out of there and don't want like increased chamber pressure. We're not going to shoot plus P's in it because I don't think these were rated for plus P. That may not blow up with a plus P, but you know, why push it? So I got some of my regular 38 special, or Federal's regular 38 special, which by the way, we appreciate somebody else's. Okay, so that's good enough. So that's pretty neat. You know, it's pinned and recessed, or it's pinned, you noticed. I don't know if they recessed any of these. It's John's recessed too? No. They may have recessed the cylinders on some of the early ones. I don't, you tell the truth, I'm not sure they ever did on the J-frame, the Model 36. Yeah, don't know. I'll look that up. But it's an early pin model, of course, because it's 1970. This is older than my Model 29, you know, -2 that I've shot so much, you've had so long and everything. This one is 50 years old. All right, oh, I didn't get the hammer clean, but that's all right. We'll wipe it down a little bit. Okay, so let's take a shot with it. You all are witnessing the first shots, and it won't keep you long, but we'll shoot it a couple of times. And I found some 38, just some of this match gold metal. You know, that's good stuff. Wad cutter. Yeah, I mean anything that's not plus P. And got some 158 grain. We'll just shoot it a few times. You'd be here for the inaugural shoot. Let's shoot some of the classic round nose, right? Because that's the kind of ammo the detective would probably have carried, right? Back in the 50s, 60s, before we had all this hotshot ammo. All right, now watch it blow up. Okay, oh, I forgot to adjust the sights, didn't I? Yeah, that'd be a job, wouldn't it? Well, what should we shoot? It's been lying around for 50 years. You know, so its first shot ought to be something kind of neat, like a 2-liter. How about that red 2-liter? All right. I'm sorry that you were neglected for 50 years, little pistol. There we go. How'd that feel? All right, feel good? How about that stop sign? Right in the center. All right, it might be right on. Oh, I know what this little guy needs to do. He's been resting so long. He needs to smoke a pot. I'm gonna make sure I hit it. All right, we're gonna let you smoke a pot, buddy. All right, his first pot smoking experience. Now, how about a little bowling? I think it's empty, right? Yes. Okay. Boy, it feels a little stiff, but it feels really solid. Really solid gun. That's pretty neat. Okay, now it's like a real revolver. You know, you open it up, and you know, eject the shells, and that's how they work. Oh, I gotta shoot that again, can I? Yeah, there's just something neat about these classics. Well, you know me, I like a revolver anyway. And even though this one's pretty small, it feels better than you would think. That's why these things are so popular. They're very shootable. I mean, they weren't designed. You know what we ought to do? We ought to just go ahead and try to hit the gong with it. That would really make it happy, I'm sure. All right, this might be a challenge. All right, first shot, it hit the gong. Well, little Model 60, you should be really happy now. How about a cowboy? Boom, dead center. Wow, this might be my new carry gun. Okay, let's try one of those 2 liters there at longer range. Let's miss it. I think we have one more bullet. Yes, we do. How about on this target? Let's go double action. Felt good. Boy, it feels really solid. I'll just shoot a few more times, let you go. I could talk an hour about this thing. I don't need any more of that for right now. But that's a pretty gun. It's got empty cases in it now. Now I will have to say on the negative side, as far as carry, I still like my 642. It's lighter, no hammer to snag, rubber grip. It's just more ergonomic and it's going to feel better. This firearm, the 36, is of course going to feel, John, about the same. Not really any different. Someone bobbed the hammer a little bit on that one, but basically the same. It was made in '69, so it's just a year older, a year wiser, right? So it's pretty neat. Model 60. Oh boy. People talk about these with reverence in their voice. They really do. Okay, I'll shoot 6 more. Let's try some of these. These little wide cutters. They're cute. All right. We'll shoot again and at some time and invite you along probably. I just wanted you to see it, brand new condition, being 50 years old, but yet new in the box. New in the box. I mean, is that a pretty thing? Now, it's still got grease. I didn't get off of it. Now it's going to have a mixture of burnt powder on it and everything. That's okay. You know how firearms clean up just like new. All right, pretty neat, pretty neat. I like this. I'm glad I got it. I really felt, I don't know, like un-American. Here I am, a pretty avid shooter, have a lot of really nice classic firearms, but I did not have a Model 60, you know. All right, let's try something else here. How about that little 2-liter right there? Boom. How about double action on the cowboy? Click. All right, got him. Double action. So you can see why little handguns like this are so popular. Some of you have them already. You have that Centennial model like I have, like that. This has the hammer, but I mean, you just pull them out and they're so simple, and boom, you can hit something. If you want to cock it, you can. Not advised in a defensive situation, but you got the hammer to cock it, and it's just a no frills, simple firearm. Model 60. You know, like I said, around 94, 96, I think it was, they kind of I converted them, but they offered them in 357 Magnum. I'm not sure they make these Model 60s still just in 38. They got them, I think, almost all of them with the longer cylinders where you can fire either one, 38 or a 357 Magnum. But this one's an old one, under 2-inch barrel, and it is just 38 special. It's not even marked for plus P, and so that's what I'm going to shoot in it. You know, just 38, and that is just too cool. 50 years. You know, that's the thing about it. You know, firearms were made to fire, to shoot, and I'm just glad that I was able to rescue this firearm, really. So this is kind of a rescue, just like my 2 cats. My rescue Model 60, that's what it is. So I rescued it, and now it's printed a round on the gong, and the cowboy and all the pertinent targets. It's taken out 2 liters. It's smoked a little pot, so now it's officially mine. And I'm glad you were here to witness it. Okay, I thought you might enjoy just seeing a brand new gun. You know, again, we've done that a time or two. Glock 17, maybe something else out of the box, and show you what I do to get it ready to shoot and shoot. The only thing about this one is I would have spent more time. It would have been perfectly clean, but I just wanted you to see it. You know, it's, really new in the box with the original grease and all that. So, Model 60, a classic. You know, started in '65, like I said, and the first mass-produced. I'm not sure what else was in stainless. There's always somebody doing something experimentally, you know. But this was the first gun, mainstream firearms, I understand, revolver, in stainless steel. Okay, and you couldn't find one. It was like the Model 29 when they came out. Everybody, waiting list, and people wanted them so badly that you couldn't find them. So we can all relate to that, right? Shortages and just trying to get one and not being able to find it, because they were very, very popular and still are. So Model 60, 38 Special, vintage 1970, unfired. Well, not so much now, right? Glad you were here to witness it. Life is good.
Oh yeah, that's better. This is a great gun for defense. Oh hey, didn't see you guys there. While I've got you here, I want to remind you of our friends over at Talon Grips and Ballistol. Talon Grips makes grips, can you believe it, for all different types of firearms. You can get rough texture or more of a rubberized texture. It just sticks right on there. You know, really affordable, really cool option to improve the grip for your handguns or rifles. So please check them out at talongungrips.com. You'll be glad you did. And also Ballistol. Dad has been using Ballistol for many years. It's a cleaner and a lubricant, and it's non-toxic. It works really great, and we're happy to have them on board since it's been a part of our shooting endeavor for a very long time. So go to ballistol.com, talongungrips.com. And also, while you're out there, I'm juggling all these things here. Also, while you're on the internet, please do check out our other social media like Hickok45 on Facebook. There's also Hickok45 on Twitter, The Real Hickok45 on Instagram. There's a John_Hickok45 on Instagram where I do some things. There's Hickok45.com. You can find us also on Gunstreamer. So check out all that stuff and then watch more videos.